My gosh, I'm watching SVU, and it's about this couple. So I kept picking up other names, Myles, because the song Stargazing came on earlier, Miles Smith. And so it's a couple in this episode. The husband dated Myles, and the wife, I think it was like, started with a V, Valerie. They were going through a nasty divorce, well, separation, in which she was keeping the daughter away from him, basically putting him through visitation. She put him through the ringer, basically. Kept the baby away, blah, blah. She lied and said he raped her. She was never raped. She was sleeping with somebody else. But he ended up dousing her with gasoline and lighting her on fire and killing her. So she died a painful ass death for lying and saying that he raped her. She ended up getting killed, and that poor little girl is now alone. All because of an ugly divorce, you know? So it's just so crazy when it comes to drama over lovers. Like, they must have got together under a Taurus moon. I don't know. That seems diabolical. Diabolical. Costly to end. He set her on fire, bro. Set her on fire. That's why I was getting that car before Miles Smith. I got the car, like, it shows like it's on fire. It's like, let's set this road on fire. Da 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 da. And I was picking up on some other thing with the gas. Yeah. Yeah, so trying to move on to calmer waters, but getting into a worse situation every single time. That's terrible to do that. You got a kid together. Like, what the hell? Why you gotta be so... Yeah, marriage. You have a family together and everything. Like, why does it have to be so bitter at the end? Why? Especially because she was trying to say that he was dangerous and blah, blah. And the dog was like, no, he's an alcoholic, but he has no history of abuse. Ever. Oh, and I was picking up at that book. Like, he didn't abuse, he never hit me. But it's like, okay, just because someone doesn't hit you doesn't mean it's not abusive and it wasn't escalating. Just because they went back and forth crazy, the reason why she accused him of rape is because he broke into her house without permission. Because it's something a social worker did for visitation, cut his visit short, which he shouldn't have done that. But that wasn't the wife's fault. But he's going to blame the wife because feels like, why should I be going through visitation and blah, blah, to see my kid? Well, if it's volatile, it's volatile. That's it. And sometimes things need to be in place. But it ended up that she ended up just giving him a hard time about divorcing, but he ended up putting her ass on fire, lighting her up in gasoline. And so she died a painful death. But on her deathbed, the detective asked her, like, were you raped? Did he rape you? She's like, yes. She lied still. Because it was something that she said. She's like, the rape was my fault, but I showed him. Because she's like, did you get him? Did you kill him? And they didn't say anything, but she just assumed that. So, and she's like, I really showed him, huh? Like, you're on the bed, completely burned. They have to do painful cleaning treatments, which you're going to get maggots and you're going to die in a couple days. But for somehow you're saying you got him, huh? Like, that's why I say there's a really thin line between love and hate. And the father was never violent, nothing. Like, she said it, then she recanted, then she did it again. Like, she said it again. And he ended up friggin' literally setting her on fire. That's crazy. Yeah. You gotta be careful. But she tried to say that, you know, he did da-da-da-da, and she was just upset because of, I guess, the situation between them. I don't know. That's why, like, I hate to hear my baby daddy say stupid shit like that to me. Like, You kept me. You did with James what you did with the same thing with James that you did with me. You kept him from me. I'm like, you're talking about the time where he was in the active throes of heroin needle addiction, where he was running around. How many times he was at hotels with my daughter and we had to go. Like, you don't know what the fuck I went through. I was with you for 3, almost 4 years. Okay? I know we had an intense and relationship, but you don't know what the hell I went through and the reasons why I did to protect my daughter for a couple years. It was only for a couple years, and that was when I was with you. But as soon as we split up, when he was sober, he was in her life. Like, whenever he was able to. You know, like, and I always said that, like, me and James always got along. Yeah, we had our issues, obviously, sometimes. But we never held on to that resentment so much. Like, with me and my youngest's father, well, now I'm patient. I'm just mature and I just don't really care. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not that type of bitch to hold on to anger and to want to fucking ruin your life. That's just not me. I'll go in my shell. I said to my baby dad, he's like, you kept me. I'm like, it's against the law for me to keep you away from your kid, right? Especially in Massachusetts. Especially because he's always like, DCF called me so many times, but especially that DCF wasn't in my life. That would have been enough ammunition for you to at least get joint custody without me being able to stop you. So stop making excuses because you made bad mistakes and you don't want to face up to it. I can't keep you from not seeing your kid. Anytime DCF called you to meet up, you never would meet up with them. Ever. But you would use it as ammo to throw in my face, acting like, oh, I know things. I got phone calls. Whatever. You got the fucking basic phone calls for them to let you know. And then every time I spoke to them, how you just didn't bother even coming to get your son. That's why they stopped giving me a hard time about it. Like, I can't go to court and force visitation on you. You have to go to court. I requested to go see a mediator so many times. Like, you just wanted to tell the court what to do, too. Like, you see what I mean? How could I tell the court what to do? It's a mediator. That's why they sit down with both parents to come up with a plan that's reasonable for both. And I try to do the minimum for them. I said, at least just take her every other weekend. I wasn't even requiring half the week, which I could have. Like, you need to take half custody. I had to give up my whole life. And I remember the first time that I wanted her to take her for a week. The next day, I was at Kennedy Lake, finally had a week off. He called me right away. He's like, well, you should have done. Like, I know I should have, but I went home and I took my kid back because I'm not going to fucking, like, get out of here. The excuses, yo. It's so crazy. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's like the proof is in the pudding, bro. He looked terrible. He's an alcoholic, and the judgment that I get is like, I didn't keep you from your kid. I protected myself from you. Then this whole thing, like, oh, you were just mad. I couldn't even, like, I couldn't even, in 2010, I couldn't even see my kid without you being there. Like, you mean after not seeing him for a while, my kid wanted me to go because she wasn't comfortable? And so what if you're going to Burger King and I decide to go? What's the big fucking deal? Is that enough to aggravate you not to see your kid? It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the bitch that you were with that was so insecure that didn't want you around us. Had you running around like a crazy. Don't even go there. You ruined your family. I'm not vindictive like that. I'm just not. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Some things have slipped out that I was misinformed about. But now that, my head's straight, but that was after the case. But I never, even with those things that I thought he did, I still, not like I would have went and pressed charges on him or had him do jail time no, I would have just stayed to myself because I know the universe dishes karma. Because look at him now. He's skinny and he's like in such a delusion. Like, it's just so crazy. But it's okay. I know when you have guilt from decisions you make, it's easier to blame somebody else. And that's okay. That's okay. You can blame it on me. Because I know the truth. And I know the Lord knows the truth. And I know the universe knows the truth. It's okay. You can try to get all your reactions out of me. Make me look crazy. Blame it on me. Whatever the fuck. It's all good. At this point, fine. I was like, okay, I'll continue to have an attitude. I'll just say what I gotta say, and then I'll just act accordingly. I'm not gonna be freaking out. I'm not gonna stay quiet. I'm just gonna say what I gotta say, one thing, and then that's it. I'm tired of the reactive, like, oh, you got a problem, you got an attitude. Well, I wouldn't have had an attitude unless you would have had an attitude first or said something ignorant when I was just being calm and nice and just curious. What was the necessity for that response? And then when you don't like my reaction to your negative response, then you want to say that I put my teeth out and I have a bad attitude. Well, yeah, I'm on edge fucking all the time because of what I've been through. Sorry. But it was beautiful at the wake today. I got up and spoke at the front, but I started crying, and there was like this board of pictures right next to the podium, and there was 4 roses on it. 2 taped here and 2 taped here in the corner. My cousin Jose was sitting in the front, which I hadn't seen him in a long time. His mother's not doing really good neither, and I was sitting with him, thank God, you know. And when I was done speaking, he had like a face on. He's like, yo, he's like, you don't even understand. He grabbed me. He consoled me. He let me cry in his arms. He's like, I'm sorry, mama. I'm sorry, mama. But then when I calmed down, he's like, yo, like something was like take it over. He's like, something crazy just happened. I'm like, why? He's like, yo, as soon as you started crying when you were talking, you see that rose? It fell to the floor. That rose right there fell to the floor as soon as you started crying. But it was something weird. It's like he knew that was my mother. Like he knew right away. And he's like, that's crazy. So I was like, really? So I go up and I grab the rose. The rose was picked up from the floor and stuck back on the thing. So I go back up to it and I'm talking to her, like, but at the pictures. And in the middle, there was a recent picture that she took while I was like gone, focusing on my health after she lost her mind. But it was when she got her dentures. It was shortly after. It was early 2022 or late 2022 when she got her dentures. You know, she just looked so cute with a smile. And I was like, oh, Ma, I didn't get to see you. You look so good with your dentures. You look so good with your smile. And I was like, I said, Mommy, I just hope that you didn't die with a broken heart and that you die with a smile. And I was just thinking of that song because I kept looking at the picture of her and Wilma together. Like, it kept looking at me. Like, that's what the focus to me. And die with a smile. Every time I hear that song, I know that's like them communicating with me, my Aunt Wilma and my Uncle Michael. And as soon as I was standing there, the rose fell. One of the roses fell, but the notice about why that rose was, each of the other roses were like placed in a different way. This rose, let me show you. It's here. Okay? All the other roses in the middle had this, like, bloomed out, right? Hold on. All the other roses had this like bloomed out. See, I kind of fixed it, but this basically was open and it looks like a smile. It's literally a smile at the bottom of this thing. And that was her way to tell me that she died with a smile. Yep. And in another fucking really crazy thing, it has like a smile thing in there. Like, that's all I could see. It was like a smile. That was her way to tell me, yes, thank you. And I died with a, you know what I'm saying? It was just beautiful. And then after that, Um, oh, while I was up talking to my mom at the casket, because I was up there a lot, and my grandmother came up to me, because I remember a couple months ago, I had went on the train to go meet up with my dad, with Ollie, and I hadn't talked to my dad for a while, and that's what I was picking up. Like, I miss my mom and I want to go see her. It was like the end of March or something, or the beginning of April. And my grandfather came to me, my dad's dad, and he's the Redbird. But he came to me, and he said to me, Mama, I want you to go spend time with your grandmother. Go spend spend more time with your grandmother. My dad's dad. Your grandmother, I don't know why she says she needs you. She needs you. Go spend time with her. This is my grandfather telling me that. Go spend time with your grandmother. I want you to go spend time with your grandmother. And then I remember I just let it go, like, okay. And then I remember telling Ollie that, like, Wello came to me and told me I need to go spend time with grandma. And then I remember talking to my daughter on the phone, telling her, what was significant about it. And she's like, oh, my daughter told me, she's like, oh, grandma's in California. She just went to California for a month, so that's what hesitated me to go spend time with her. But then she was back. Fast forward to now, I'm at the freaking casket, and she comes up to me. She's like, Mama, she knees next to me. She's like, she's really concerned about me. She's like, I know you're going through a lot. She's like, something really crazy happened to me last night that's never happened to me in my entire life. I'm like, what? She's like, I was sleeping last night really late, and I woke up and I had a dream, woke up from my dream, and you were there with me crying. It was just me and you, and I was holding you, and you were crying. She said, I'm here for you. I want you to call me, and I want you to come spend time with me. She's like, that's never happened. You were there in my room with me. She said something about white roses. She's like, you were dressed in white roses, and you were there in my room with me, crying. And then we're sitting there, all of a sudden her phone goes off. And she looks at it. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, look at this. She's like, my daughter, Noemi. I'm like, yeah, she was here she came to visit in 2022, in the end of 2022, something about when my grandfather died. It was a picture. Noemi sent my grandmother a picture of him in the nursing home, in the hospital where he was in the nursing home, I think, or I don't know if he was home. I think he might have been home, but in the bed, in the room, with her, the day that he died. Because I never went to go make it. I never got to see him before he passed. I saw him on Thanksgiving, thank God. I was able to see him, we had a nice family reunion dinner, blah, blah. Then he passed away around, shortly after Thanksgiving. I think it was either right before Thanksgiving or shortly after. Maybe shortly after. But maybe it wasn't Thanksgiving that we seen him for. It was something that we seen him right before. Oh, I think we went to the King Richard's Fair, and then after we went to my grandma's house for dinner. Okay, yeah, it wasn't Thanksgiving. It was right before. It was in October. That at least I was able to come together with him, which it was better. I mean, he was more lucid then, I guess, but that was all reassurance right there. She got the thing, and it was my grandfather. So that just told me my grandfather's with my mother. My grandfather's with me all the time. All the time. And my Aunt Noemi sent a picture of my grandmother with her in the room, so she could show me, this is your grandfather that he died, because I never got to see. Self-criticism. Yeah. So it's just crazy, It's You know, I said every day, and I knew I was being guided, and I know I became bitter, and I said a lot of mean things, but I was just angry because somebody was listening to me. And I felt crazy every day, but there's no explanation for this stuff. And then I see my niece, my little baby cousin Jayla. She's not my niece, she's my cousin. I call her my niece, but... And it was so nice to talk to her because she has gifts and stuff, and she does the same thing. And just like the first time talking to her and not feeling like I'm crazy or just like a fuck up or... Like, I don't even bother talking. I talk to Ollie about everything. Like, these little things, but I really don't talk to anyone else about it. I know it's scary, and you know, but I am in constant communication with the other realm. Constantly. My mom talks to me constantly. That whole roach thing, she died on the 24th. I got the email about the roach, about negative energies gonna enter your home space, da-da-da. And then I went to Whole Foods. And the roach was there. My daughter was just telling me when I was just on the phone with her, like, I don't know, ever since my dad, ever since Ma died, I've had nothing but bad luck in my life, my daughter said. Ever since my Ma died, I've had nothing but bad luck. I'm like, that's so crazy because I was picking up on the roach and the negative energy coming in, and so far nothing has really come in my energy that's been really negative, but my daughter has. So maybe I was just getting a warning for my kid. So I just have to pray over my children. Yeah, but that whole thing that was coming up again about the Lilith and the fortune, how I said, you know, sometimes I'm like, my oldest daughter's birthday is my fortune. My youngest daughter's birthday is my Lilith. But my youngest daughter, she's the one that's going to have a more spiritual career. Based on her birth chart, she's the one that's supposed to have the spiritual career following, like, in my footsteps. She's the dog. I'm a dog. My mother was a dog. We all have spiritual gifts. We all guide by the moon. That's why I'm moonology is my shit. Like, that's number one out of all the ologies. Astrology, numerology, blah, blah, the moon. I'm a Cancer, but I'm a dog. Like, my mom was a dog, and my daughter's a dog, and she's a rising Cancer, Sagittarius. So she's like opposite me. That's why we're like exactly alike. I'm Cancer sun sign, but I have rising Capricorn. I have Sagittarius, but my Vedic chart is Gemini, Sagittarius, but I have a lot of Cancer. My North Node, same thing with my youngest. She's the opposite. Her sun sign Sagittarius with Cancer, you know, so, you know, just, I was thinking about a lot of people right now. And bitter. Yeah, just bitter. And I want to release that bitter energy. It's not worth it. So much anger. It just causes so much pain. And I could sit here and I could be so bitter and angry at my baby daddy all day, every day. But why? There's no point. He's suffering already for the decisions he's made. We suffered enough. And I just want to move forward and be happy with my kids. And be healthy, you know? I just can't do that. That just can't be me. I just don't have the energy. Like I said, to a certain point, I can't go back and forth arguing. Like, I just can't. I just can't. After a certain point, it's like we can argue, but if something's said about fine, then I'm just going. You know, like, that's just how I am. I'm not the type really to do knockout, drag out. I don't have the stamina for that. I don't have the spirit for that. I just don't. Like, setting me on fire? If you hate me so much, you set me on fire? Like, but I understand the concept of, like, people may think somebody's keeping somebody away, you know, but it could be very fears people don't understand. And in a case like that, it's just unfortunate because That guy was never violent. And for whatever reason, the mother really made it hard for him, but she ended up paying. And she ended up getting put on fire, okay, and dying a painful, miserable death. So, there's no reason to hold on to anger. Yeah. Abuse. Yeah. Credibility. Somebody was starting drama to try to move away from a negative situation, a divorce, settlement, rumors, slanders, trade. Yeah. Four cups. Restlessness and boredom. Three cups. It looks like somebody's confused as to why someone doesn't want to accept something. King of Cups. Knight of Cups. So there's a Ten of Cups, Knight of Cups. Family life. New lover. So that's what happened. She was trying to move on with a new lover. Let's leave it all behind. And that's what triggered him to put her on fire. Because she was planning on trying to move far away to another state with his daughter. The only thing he had left. She was already making him jump through hoops to spend time with his daughter that he loved so much. And then the visitation kept getting cut short, like supervised visitations, because she was lying, saying he was abusive and stuff like that. I would never do that to my baby dad. I would never do that. I would never do that. So to be accused of something, being vindictive like someone like that, the proof is in the pudding. If I was vindictive like that, I would be suffering. When you hold on to bitterness and you cause things for people for no reason, you end up suffering immensely. Just like he is. And he's so delusional. Like, I was like, how you feeling? Like, I'm just trying to be compassionate. We're empathetic, whatever. I don't need to knock out, drag out. And I'm just like, I said happy birthday to him. I'm like, wow, 45, that's a big deal, huh? I said, how do you feel, old man? He's like, oh, I feel great. I feel not a day over. Like, it's just such a delusion. It's so crazy. But, it's a defense mechanism for him. And I understand that. It's just unfortunate that I'm, every time it's like, it's like, make up your mind. It's either or, like, and it's just so, like, just not want to take accountability. But, I would never put somebody that was actually a good father. This motherfucker fought. This motherfucker showed up at visitation. The one that says his wife on fire. He could have fought. He could have easily walked in. Like, he could have not wanted to get me. He tried to say he didn't want to deal with me. But why didn't you go to the court? It's always an excuse. It's if it's this, then it's that reason. If it's this, then it's that reason. Like, bro. You just have bitterness and anger. You wanted things your way, and you try to gaslight me and say that I wanted it my way or the highway. What? All I cared about was my kid. If you didn't want to be consistent, then I was fine. We didn't need you. That was it. I told him, you want to go see your kid? Go to court. I would have never. I've been waiting. Let's go visitation. The problem with me is I don't want to deal with you directly. But now you want to come at me like, get the fuck out of here. You're just guilty because you decided to let whatever come in between. That's why you're drinking yourself to death out of guilt. But, like, it's so crazy because he had another kid that wasn't biologically his, but he signed it. He met his BM, his daughter's mother, when she was pregnant with her oldest son. And he said that he would be there, take care of it. He got the tattoo. He signed birth certificate, da-da-da. Fast forward after we split up, he didn't want to pay child support because the grandmother got custody of the oldest kid. went and got child support. They were requiring him to do child support, so he went to the court, took his name off the birth certificate, just not to pay child support for a kid that you willingly said, I want to be his father. Like, he don't even mention him now. He had tattoos that said Goldo and Naji on his wrist or blah. I don't even see Goldo's name anymore. It's probably still there, but I didn't even pay attention because he had a Massachusetts tattoo. He got covered up with a woman's face. Yeah, just the things he tried to fucking say. Like that day, the tattoo party, he was drunk. He drove into oncoming traffic. He almost killed me and his kid. And then the only thing was horrible, like, you're the only one who took my sister's night that night. I'm like, it wasn't nothing about your sister. I wanted to beat your fucking ass. As soon as you went and hit your sister and she started swinging, I started swinging on him. Because I see you hitting a female one, but I was already mad at you. We were fighting. You just almost killed me. What are you talking about? So if I was swinging on you, it was because of my own shit. It's just so crazy how, it's just so crazy how I could sit here and feel delusional. And I did. I went through some delusion, but it was from being unknowing. But now that I know and stuff like that, like, but to be delusional like that and to literally like gaslight, like I know verbatim what happened and everything, and I have no reason to fucking lie. Even when I know my mistakes and my faults, I freely talk about my mistakes and my faults. Yeah. Difficult choice. Cannot decide. Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups didn't make it easy for someone to make. So somebody wanted to leave it all behind, start a new relationship, move forward. Yeah. Okay, so somebody decided to kill. So that's why I kept the name Myles. That was the name in there. Because the song Myles Smith came up. So I was getting the signs of that. But yeah, just stubbornness, just divorce, just how it could literally result in such bitterness and such you just feel stuck or stressed, unable to move forward because of arguments, refusal to compromise in a partnership, co-parenting, whatever. Yeah, the goal is to commit to working together to improve, to self-improve. Yeah. But this person was using skillful manipulation to try to move forward with a new partnership or leave something behind, wanted to move away or something. Tower, and that's what caused the Tower moment. The Hermit. The carelessness, like the someone being forced to have to withdraw from their children, forced to just isolated. This person was carefully planning on how to move forward. So this person felt like they had nothing left to lose. State of stability. Had nothing left to lose. Ten of Pentacles. Huge losses. It was already taking huge losses. Yeah, King of Swords. Just cruel. A male with ambition. Yeah. Victory. The opponent prevails. Yeah, it was all about getting victory, bro. Instead of focusing on the truth, of the matter. And trying to work together, just clear, just wanting to control, just being unfair. Revenge for leaving quarrel, for trying to leave them behind. Despair, ill will. She was trying to say, he stalks me, he da-da-da, blah, because he wasn't able to know where his daughter was. You were unfairly taking his daughter away from him. And for me to be accused of that, when I've been in the same fucking place the whole motherfucking time, the courthouse been the same motherfucking place, you could have went, da-da-da, you could have fucking easily, anytime, no, but you wanted to directly, you don't need me to get access to your kid, idiot. You have rights that have nothing to do with me. So it's like, he hates it because he can't even, he knows I'm right, and there's nothing you can say about that. Because he always puts me down, so I just put I'm like, why would a stupid, whatever, blah, blah, all the things that you say about me, how would I have been able to fucking block you from seeing your kid? You have rights. You have rights that have nothing to do with me. And you know damn well I was trying to work with you until I couldn't work with you directly. And then anytime, blah, blah, go to court. Let's go to court. Let's come up with an agreement. A mediator comes up with agreement on both sides. But he didn't want to sign something. It was him that didn't want to fucking adhere to everything. Let's be real. Who wants it their way or no way? Okay? Yeah. High Priestess. Hidden problems. But yeah, lost contact. That's what it was. He had lost contact, so he was going crazy. So, and then when he was in the video, he was meeting up with the supervised visits. The supervisor didn't have time. She kept cutting the visits short, so he was getting aggravated. So he put a tracker on the supervisor's car to figure out how to get to the thing, and then it escalates from then. So I understand that anger. That's what I'm saying. If I really was doing that, wouldn't you have way more anger towards me? Wouldn't I be suffering more if I really did that vindictively? That's why you're the one who's suffering, not me. Like, get out of here. Yeah. Paid your cost. Abandonment. Yeah, for abandoning their family. Yeah. Their child. Not even their family. Yeah. Unsafe. I just felt unsafe. It was not safe for my mental health to be around him because of the gaslighting, because of the abuse. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Queen of Cups, yeah. Doused her in freaking gasoline and set her on fire. Guilty conscience. Somebody has a guilty conscience. Okay? About the time they took or something like that. Somebody has a guilty conscience about it. Drama, conflict, failures, misfortune. Yeah, conflict and loss here. Tragedy. Ended up in a tragedy. You know, I feel guilty all the time that I couldn't even just get it together with him. You know? Even though I would have never, I just did what I did to protect my child. Like, generally, for my child, dealing with inconsistency, dealing with being left hanging, dealing with, oh, you're going to daddy's house for a week, oh, but he's bringing you back the next day. All that shit. Like, nah. No. So I want something consistent that says we're going to meet up on Thursday or Friday at blah blah. You're going to take her and drop her off at this time and blah blah blah. Do it all. This amount of money per week for child support. If it's not joint 50-50, shit like that. That's what I like. Clear cut instructions. No blah blah blah. No room for blah blah. And that's what he's like. Oh, well, what if you're not willing to be reasonable and switch one of the weekends? So you didn't want to do what the court said to say. You're trying to say, I was trying to tell the court to do. No, you wanted to tell the court to do. And you knew you couldn't once we signed that agreement. And that, you'd be held liable more. Like, come on, bro. Stop. I'm not even fucking trying to argue with you about it or give you a hard time or bring it up. But every time you try to fucking not, like, nah, I don't want to hear it. Like, bye. Like, it's just not, Like, you made a mistake. It's fine. But yeah, he was dealing with alcoholism, I can't believe the Texas flooding tragedy. That's so crazy. But yeah, it's just tragedy. Critical, unsafe. Somebody turned, situation that was like high in emotion and turned it really bad, And I'm so glad that, some people just have a limit. I have a limit, I'd like to say. Even though I've been given the reputation of having such a bad attitude and being out of control and blah, blah, da, da, da. Even though it's just all been reaction to everything I've dealt with. Like, I'm just tired of that. Yeah. So I'm just not. Oh, look, it's 4:08.